Hey guys, how we doing? So before you get into this episode, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information and a little disclaimer as well. So disclaimer first, as you gradually get to the 10th episode, there might be a little audio issue, but I think it should be fine. It's gonna probably maybe go to the 17th minute and then everything reverts back to the regular clean audio. And also to let you know, this recording was done last year, December. So apologies. But I do hope you enjoyed the episode. I think that's the main thing. I do believe it's very insightful. And the person I had, great guy. So yeah, enjoy. Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Lion in the Room. I'm your host, Leo Edoche, and it's good to be back. Do not forget that Lion in the Room is an inspirational, motivational podcast that's just trying to bring the best you you can possibly be. I believe that there's a lion in you and it's not in this room. I like what I'm doing here, man. But do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. We try to bring out consistent episodes. That's the plan. That's the objective. Sorry, it's not been going the way it's meant to be, but I got a great episode for you guys today. I'm always talking about being better, not because I have such great expectations for everyone. It's always good to have high expectations because that makes you work harder. But I truly believe that we can be the best people that we can be in this life. So I got a great guy here to discuss it with me. One of my friends, I used to call this guy Kuma, just for the love of anime that we both have. This is my guy, Michael Bell. Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Hey, it's
I really appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you, brother. It's
really
good to be on.
it, man. I've known this guy since 2021, and we didn't even live in the same flat as well. So we were staying in Crown House, and you were actually in my old flat from my foundation years.
Oh, right.
110, right?
No, so...
11, the first flat.
So that would have been... Oh, well, because I was in...
Did you stayed with K?
Nah.
Oh, Sean stayed with K.
Sean did.
Oh,
yeah.
What floor did you stay on?
I was in Kendrick, and then after that, I was living in a small...
Really?
Yeah.
Every time I went there, you were there, so I thought you lived there.
I was... If I was not there for gym, I was just there to chat and cook.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's calm, bro. That's calm. So what was the kitchen in Kendrick saying?
It was all right.
Not all right enough to...
I mean, it was probably just the same as Crown. It's just induction cookers, hobs and stuff like that. That was a new thing for me because at home I was gifted with only ever cooking with gas. So
oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a shock for me the first time I saw it as well, man. But around the time that I came, I wasn't even cooking still. So
I needed something to do. Like I said, I had my foundation year, so a lot of that didn't require a lot of effort from me. So I just learned to cook, and it's become very much a passion.
Nice. You learned to cook around the foundation year.
Yeah, like I pretty much catered for Sean and one of the other guys that was living on that said floor, and then we used to do a thing where we'd like pool in together to get a shop from Aldi. Mm-hmm. We'd collect in. It was a long walk from Aldi train station Aldi to
what?
Yeah,
not even like Whitley Aldi.
Nope.
You should have gone to Whitley Aldi.
Didn't know it existed. I don't even think it existed.
So I'm just speaking gibberish right now.
yeah. So yeah, and then we'd have that long walk back to like carrying those heavy, because it would be about like 3 to 4 weeks worth of food in the shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're just carrying that. That was gym enough of his own during COVID and such. Mm-hmm. And I found a love in cooking. And there's one thing that I could communicate from home that was like a thing that bring people together, that I brought the guys together.
That's good, man. That's nice. Look at that. Community bonding. But hey, how about you tell us a bit more about yourself, bro? I know what I need to know, but hey, I like to hear it. If there's anything I don't already know.
Well, you already know, I'm a pharmacy student. I'm my last year. I've been working in and out of pharmacy for some years now, since my first placement. So it's probably about 2 and a bit years now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it's good. I enjoy what I do, and working in the community sector has very much told me that like this is what I could imagine making my 9 to 5. This is fine. Also very much creative. I've been about making games. I was just telling my guy here earlier that
it's a sick way to be a creative though.
Yeah, I made
making podcasts.
I got a game on Steam that we're currently working on. It's very much in its like alpha phase, but it's something I've been making with a group that I originally applied and got nominated for the BAFTAs for?
You're the group. Well, it doesn't matter, but that's big.
Twice. Yeah, I don't tell I've known this guy for years. I ain't told. It's not,
I ain't angry he didn't tell me before, but it's good to know now. Damn. Congrats, bro. Gee.
Yeah, man. I've been a career for
I got a superstar right here.
I've only met a few people, but it's a good time and it's something I enjoy. I think something I can do weekly that will help me express my creative outlet, and from there, I also want to get into more storytelling and story making, which means taking more time for myself, which is something I'm working on, but it's really difficult doing the level of degree I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But it's a good time. The most in terms of other speaking of creative outlets, in terms of storytelling and my practice for doing it, because everyone always says like you don't get anywhere without practicing once, doing something once at least. Like you're not a creative unless you, like say you want to draw, you got to draw that first terrible photo and then you just keep doing it and keep doing it.
Repetition, bro.
So my storytelling, I've been practicing with, I run like Dungeons and Dragons games every week, and I've basically created this world that I want to create my grander story in, but I've gone like several hundred years prior to the main events, and I've thrust the characters that are playing in my games into it so I can flesh it out a bit more.
That's nice, bro. That's nice. What do you like the most about storytelling? Because I love the world building. I love the world building so much because it's like I get to know what's happening at different parts of the world at that same time. Like I will always big up One Piece for that, bro.
Yeah, man.
The world building is lovely. Even just with a few panels, maybe like 3 panels, you see another character's life. Somebody who in a different manga or story would have been, offed, taken out of the story. But there's still some relevance, bro. It's not a must, but world building is a part of narrative progression that I really enjoy.
World building, it's funny you say that, is like my favorite.
Oh yeah?
It's like, if anything has world building or has a focus on it, that will be the easiest way to sell me to want to watch something or want to engage with said media, because it's any sort of media is a form of escapism. So if you have ever grown up with something that's something difficult and you want to just escape into another world, if that world is said fleshed out, makes it easier to escape, because the things as we are in the natural day to day, we can be unhappy about the certain situations we're in. So if we can find something that we can stake our love into and feel invested in, I think that's beautiful. And likewise with the escapism, if you embed certain narratives, certain teachings and stories, and being able to convey another outlook that you can apply to real life in said story, I think that's beautiful and something powerful we definitely go to underestimate.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you, man. That's lovely, bro. I really appreciate that. Look at the knowledge this nigga's giving me right now. His brother. Now, bro, one thing that I've come to understand, because we're still young men, young, vibrant men, got that energy, but we still have our struggles, because as you get older, you realize that you don't know everything. As you get older, you realize that as a young tyke, you like to act as though you know everything. You're also boisterous, moving around and all that. But that's how you make more mistakes. But you learn from your mistakes. And as you learn, you have the opportunity to mature. Now, today we're going to get the opportunity to talk about emotional maturity. Emotional maturity, even going into emotional availability, because I believe I saw a video that said emotional maturity is normally fantasized, but not really desired. When you have it in front of you, you don't really want it as much. Before we get into that, bro, do you have like your own definition of it?
I believe emotional maturity is any sort of, the definition I've derived from my own life experiences is the understanding and willingness to change, embrace a new perspective and apply it to the way it fits your own narrative and your own life. That is maturity. And willing to understand and just gain another perspective, one that even if it doesn't specifically align with yourself, to just, I'd say like the not to be preachy, but the most knowledgeable person in the room is the third person. Being able to look back in on yourself. I think that's great.
Say no more, bro. But one thing I've noticed about emotionally mature people is that the fact that they're able to own the mistakes that they made, like taking accountability. Not saying that you go and fix all the mistakes that are around you, but being able to learn from them. and accepting that a mistake that you made doesn't really define you, but if anything, it teaches you how to move next. You know, there are also things like being able to accept discomfort, things like recognizing their emotions and taking responsibility. And you realize that an emotionally mature person is actually just a very responsible individual, sometimes also very empathetic and considerate to others. But I definitely say that they're not someone you can, take advantage of. They're there to help if they see you require help, but it's not something that you can definitely play around with, because they also know their boundaries and they know what they want for a person.
Oh, 100% agree. And also just to add on to that is you discussed the ability or the willingness of one person to take advantage of someone else that is emotionally mature. But wherein underlies that one statement is, with emotional maturity comes emotional availability.
Yes.
And the one person who is understanding of their own emotional availability is, in my definition, more emotionally mature. So they would be less susceptible to manipulation, because they'd only work well within their means. And being able to express to those that they engage with, whether it's someone they love or to someone stranger, what they're able to provide, what they're able to give, but also work well within their means, then that is the thesis of what is someone that is emotionally mature.
It's a good way to move, man. Honestly, I didn't really know too much about emotional maturity and emotional availability. I don't hear the phrase a lot. So it was actually my sister that pushed the topic to me, and I was like, yeah, this actually sounds like a good topic, because I do believe that a lot of people don't know how to handle emotions, address emotions, or even present how you feel to other people. Doesn't mean that you're destructive or anything like that, but you're learning. And sometimes some people don't get to learn as quick as others. Some people they get it from day one, but being emotionally available means that you can express feelings clearly. What I have here says that is present in conversations, not emotionally checked out. And you can receive vulnerability without shutting down. Now, people call it trauma dumping.
Yeah.
I think, is it? Yeah, people call it trauma dumping because I could ask you what's wrong, and then the person comes out and just tells me everything. I don't think I'd feel overwhelmed, because I normally want to understand. Just me as a person. It's not even like a complex. I just want to understand what the problem could be. Sometimes maybe I'm giving too much advice, but I would just love to listen. Being able to listen at least kind of shows that person that's talking that how they feel is validated, so I think that's good, man. What about you? What do you think?
I definitely agree. The whole trauma dumping stigma, the root cause of it, and the thing that should be addressed, I want to give the good and the bad for any sort of statement. So with the trauma dumping, it's situational to the people at present. So it is trauma dumping when it comes to how close you are with said person, because we should, and the thing is, this is why it's like you said, it's a topic you'll never really come to terms with a lot, because it's not pushed towards male-centric media. And I'm glad that the world is shifting in a way that is going to change that. But if I have been known to trauma dump, and I have trauma dumped on someone that is my friend, but me, I've only called it that because I felt like I was unable to express myself to their friend. This is someone I've known since secondary school. We're still keeping in touch, and he was there for me when I after beseeching all of my woes to him, the things I was going through, I just felt nothing but guilt, and I wanted to apologize, but it shouldn't be like that.
Can I ask why? Why do you feel guilty though?
It's almost I think because it's derived from my expectation of myself, and what I have defined as maturity is not needing to rely on anyone else, which is something I'm actively working on as well. It's something I'm discussing with people I speak to, people I'm speaking to at uni and what have you. And realizing that asking for help is not a knock on maturity.
No.
And that's something I've had to teach myself and be taught. It's difficult. But I felt guilty for as if to, because obviously a burden shared is a burden halved.
True.
But I felt that why should I give you this in the first place? I don't, you're not owed to me to have to share that. And I felt wrong for doing so. And against all of what I believed, he was there for me. He was said, no, why, it's so strange for you to feel like this because.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where it's weird because he said, if I had come to you in the same situation, you wouldn't judge me for it. You wouldn't hate me. And that's completely correct. But what I expect from other people is so different from what I accept from myself.
Because you kind of feel like it's something you should have taken control of or should have sorted out.
100%.
And the fact that you haven't sorted it out is just going to be annoying to others.
Yeah, 100%. It's a disingenuous way to live. It's something that it's putting all of this pressure wherein you just kind of this echo chamber of what should be allowed and what should be said. Where if you don't want to be in an echo chamber, you want to be free. You want to be able to speak with someone that you're close to, and then you can share because the thing is once I let all those things out, it is true where it wasn't sitting in my heart anymore. I did feel a bit easier about it. I felt more clear of mind to deal with my own situation. But it's just because I had someone there that was close enough to listen at that point that I was able to do that for myself. Whereas at the task or dealing with the hardships I was dealing with at the time, I didn't feel like it was surmountable. And it was tough. And those are the sort of things as well we need to tell like young people that it's you can be going through something, but if you're sharing it and you're more open. This is the thing though, where it's good for them, but there's that fear of having that sort of negative feedback, or whether you're sharing to the right person. So that's where the nuance comes into it, where first and foremost you should be sharing with your parents. And if you are not lucky enough to be in that situation, or if they're at the point of the contention, you should be able to have the at least someone that you can that is in your parents, but someone that's close to and with a foundation that you can share something with.
I agree, man. We need to bring back the buddy system, you know what I'm saying? Because truly, like, I see no shame in sharing a problem. You know, sometimes I feel like a burden as well because I have expectations for myself as well. I truly feel like sometimes I need to get this in check. I have to, as a person, more times as a man, just because of the expectations, influence being put out by the world, and what everyone believes to be status quo. But I'm not less of a man or less of a person if I complain about the hardships, because at the end of the day, I want to overcome them. I'm not trying to sit down and play cards with them. I'm just trying to get through this. And sometimes, like you said, a burden shared is a burden halved. And that's lovely, bro, because it's the truth. Like, why should I feel bad that my brother came to tell me, hey, man, I'm having a bad day? Oh, sucks to be you.
Yeah, no, that sort of mindset, which is most predominant in males, is a hindrance at the end of the day, and we need to, as a collective, work on that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with pushing, being strong, but strength comes in different ways, bro. And to be strong, bro, you have to go through some fire. So why can't I complain about the burns, bro? What? You don't complain about yours? Or you're getting a little deep heat there to keep you cool? No, man. I got this question, bro. I think it's a lovely one to start the podcast. When did you first realize that you had some emotional growing to do? Because for me, I'm reminded every day, I need to grow. I need to grow. There's still this I don't understand. My mom was telling me one day about being gracious. And around the time she was telling me, bro, my face was so strong. God, I did not want to hear what she was saying. But it was true. Sometimes you just need to be able to show others grace, And hey, have an opportunity to answer the question.
I would say the time that I can probably draw, I don't know if this is specifically the first one, but was when I was trying to find, what my definition at that time was of love. When I was trying to find love and things weren't going right, or rather, what I was finding in that time as well wasn't providing me with the sense of emotional content that I needed to address within myself at the time. And I realized that this isn't actually what I'm looking for. If anything, I was almost looking for a distraction from the problems I was already dealing with. And it wasn't doing anything for me at the present moment in time. It wasn't doing anything for me in my future. So and this happened during a difficult year for me. And I did the routine of waking up early, gymming, working, and then only doing that on repeat with and very little to no external communication, and nor did I actually seek out. But at the end of the day, I was sleeping unhappy. I was going to bed unhappy, dreading tomorrow. And that was at the point where I was like, I need to A, work on myself, and B, understand why I'm feeling a certain way, how I can conquer it, and how I can go going forward, because it was detrimentally affecting my health as well. So yeah, it was a difficult time for me.
Would you say that you're definitely making headway now?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, just the other day, making sure that I'm reaching out and speaking to different people. And I'd say the best thing that's come from me wanting to be more emotionally mature, it will, like, it matures you in other aspects, in the way you engage with other things in life. I I've gained my memories back. And this is, yeah, this is,
That's
yeah.
something.
There's something in, because the way people deal with their emotions and the way that it can come from a whole different types of ways. From the way I survived, I wasn't thriving, but the way I chose to survive in dealing with my emotions is if it was too strong, I buried it.
Oh.
And when you do that, you lose, like, you literally lose your connection to certain things. You lose your care. You kind of drift. And in doing so, you also lose your memories for stuff. I was struggling to remember people's names. I remember, I think this might be even earlier time. I forgot my sister's age at the dentist. They were like, "How old did you got any sibling?" Because I'm getting something done, and they were like, "Yeah, I've got one. I've got one little sister." And how old is she? Because things at home and the things I wasn't choosing to deal with,
Oh,
I was burying the emotions. I have a
okay.
lovely relationship with my sister. There's a big age difference. There's 9-year difference between us, so I very much felt like a third parent in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But wherein you choose to not deal with your emotions, or if you don't have an environment to discuss it with people around you, a safe environment to do so,
Yeah.
you do lose those memories. And when I was really realizing that I was losing a lot of memories, I knew I needed to address it. So from that, from the years that those happening, I'll say to my girlfriend, I remember this, and this is because, and in this memory of doing so, this probably is why I behave such way, or this is explains why this is my outlook on this, or why I choose to have this sort of natural way of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps me understand me better. But if it didn't address those feelings, I wouldn't have got those memories, and I wouldn't have got those memories, I wouldn't be able to understand the way I am now.
Mm-hmm. Powerful, man.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
You can't leave things unaddressed. That's what I'm getting from most of what you're saying, because one day it'll all come back waiting for you, like, hey man, knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
And I get that. Ooh, wow. School was tough for me, bro. Like, I've always been like wanting to have friends and things like that. And I don't know if this still aligns with what we're talking about, but I believe I found some form of emotional maturity moving from that, because the experiences that I went through also made me distance myself from my siblings. But I only realized that that was what happened when I moved to a new school. Around the time, it almost seemed like it was too far gone, because, you know, as people all make their minds up and all that. My parents have always taught us to be independent, and my sister is independent. Like, once she makes her mind, like, hey, yo, I ain't talking to you no more, bro. You're like my bin bag. You're over there, you're over there. And that's how, I wouldn't say necessarily like that, but the way my sister viewed me changed. And that hurt me, because I am in a family where we notice those things, or we've been taught to notice those things. My mom's always made that, you know, paramount priority. I had the opportunity to, you know, fix things. I fixed it. And in doing that, bro, I felt a whole lot better. And at the same time, I began to cherish the relationship with my siblings more. Or if anything, I went back to cherishing that relationship the way I used to. I was getting bullied, bro. I was getting bullied, and like, it was tough. Oh, damn, bro. It was tough. And the worst thing I could have done was treat my sister the way they treated me. And I was doing that, even my younger brother. But after a while, man, I had to learn, and that wasn't the way. And they were loving enough to still forgive me. Like, bro, it's emotional maturity gives you the opportunity to really see how far you've come as well, man. And like, for me, like, sometimes it makes me too much of a softie, bro. I might even start crying, right?
Nah,
yeah,
it's
man.
good.
I know it's good still.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, you mentioned, we were talking earlier today about how things have sort of brought you to a near tier or like A tier.
Mm,
And I think just as a thing, because the thing is about how men shouldn't cry or something
mm,
like that. That is a narrative that should not be pushed. Of course, there's the whole you don't want to be able to be emotionally broken at a drop of a hat.
mm.
That I understand that narrative, but wherein that you should be feel comfortable enough to express your own emotion, have a cry, and
Yeah.
understand the catharsis in that, and understand that something that someone else has done has affected you.
Yeah.
And like you've said, someone was bullying, like you were feeling like you were being bullied, and then because you chose to accept it, you didn't want to impart that on someone else. That is the explanation of your like emotional maturity. And had you not been able to be in touch with your emotions enough and just bottle it, you wouldn't have seen the issue with
That's
doing
true.
that. So in the accept, are you saying it's mushy? But I think it's beautiful.
That's good, man. I appreciate that. This is my guy right here, bro. This is my guy. But hey, let's move on. Let's see, man. I have this one. What's a belief about yourself that you had to unlearn to grow?
I think there's hey, desire is born from those that are perfect, and I think that it's something. It's there's just. I got this quote from Jacksepticeye, someone I used to follow on YouTube.
Yeah, I know Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, man, he's good. The whole
I'm more of a multiplier guy though.
fair enough. They're both doing
Mhm.
brilliant, and it's love. It's great to see.
Mhm.
But the whole thing where he was talking about this really thought provoking picture of a plate spinner at the top of a staircase, and everyone's like, "Wow!" wow. But they don't see all the broken
a plate
plates.
spinner.
Yeah, they don't see all the broken plates on on the steps up, and that
They don't see how hard you had to work, man, but they see you at the
Exactly.
top.
And I have a bad issue with wanting to be amazing at something first.
And people not seeing your flaws.
Yeah, I feel so vulnerable, so small, so like subhuman
Yeah.
if someone's able to see and address my flaws, because I also feel like there's fear in, and it only comes from it being being enacted upon me before in history,
Yeah.
but of someone using said flaw of mine to spite me, to like have something against me, because I want to have comfortability in knowing I'm able to do anything within my means.
Amen.
And then if I can't do anything and I want to, I have the capability to be able to be better at it. I think everyone should strive to be in that sort of mindset. But in showing someone that I wasn't able to do something at one point, and then leaving with them thinking that Michael's unable to do that,
Mm.
I there's a certain shame that's embedded in my heart, and I've worked to try and go against that. That I can get something wrong
Mhm.
and be like, but we can like grow from it. We can learn from it and move past it. That has been, I would say, like a strong cornerstone in my level of development.
Respect.
Yeah, I'm allowed to fail, but I'm also allowed to continue.
Exactly, man. They say you fall 7 times, bro. What do? You get back up 7
Get back.
times, bro.
100%.
Exactly. For me, wow. When I think about it, what did I have to unlearn? That there was something wrong with me, something different about me. Now, I've always been tall. So, like, the first one is, being around other short stacks and stuff. Yeah, I don't feel no pity for any of you brothers.
Yeah.
I do, a little bit. But this was the thing. People were teasing me and calling me names and stuff. I'll tell you what, some guy, I'll even name him as well. He's in secondary school. But back in like primary school, it's like, little kids, and they can be so evil unintentionally.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so tall, you coconut tree, da 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 da. It's like, Dad, don't you laugh. Don't you do that. Nah, you see, this is why we're not. This is why we don't do this. Yeah. This is why I don't open up to our brothers. Yeah, but I'm joking anyways.
Yeah.
But
coconut tree is a stretch though.
Yes, it's a stretch.
The things that the imagination in order to spice somebody.
Yeah, but I can imagine they could never reach. They can never reach. So I understand.
Damn.
I understand. But that was the thing, people calling me names because I look different. I was different. But my mom told me this, bro. It's like, you have a friend that's really short. Do you think you'd be short like him when your mom and dad are tall? And I laughed because, he was always very funny. He never made fun of me though, and his dad was a loving guy as well, man. Talking about, look at me, your son's taller than me. But, when people are calling you names and you're focusing more on what they're calling you, you don't think of the good. I went into secondary school and you get older. Some people are a bit harsher. I had one of my seniors. I remember that night. The guy called me, and you get to an age, you don't really want to take nonsense from nobody, but like you're in boarding school, bro. The boys will beat you up. This guy called me longitude and latitude.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't see what was so funny, haha, about it, but like everybody was just laughing. Longitude, latitude. And that's what they were calling me. And then my name was Leo, so the L. And it was just tough, bro. Like it took me a few years to oh damn, it's even affecting me now. It took me a few years because like it really made me feel like there was something wrong, like being different from others. Because like as a person, you don't know what it is that makes you different, but other people are seeing that. And like it affected me so much, bro. Even studying, talking to people, bro. Like I remember my own accord, my own choice, I left the room that I was in with all my classmates. I went to go stay in an empty room.
Yeah.
Dingy walls. You had like a mattress there.
Yeah.
And one time I got locked out of the senior boys hostel. That's where we were staying, the boys hostel. And the housemaster was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna let you in because you were meant to come in, blah, 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 blah." I didn't even argue with the guy, bro. No one was ready to like let me in. I had to pick a ladder because that window I was at had no protective bars. And I'm climbing through the ladder and this thing is shaking. And like these guys, they come and they see me climbing and then they try to help me just to like throw insults at me. Like, why didn't you just tell someone to help you? Like, you know, it was hard. I don't know. Feeling different was very hard. But as I've gotten older, I've come to understand that different is good.
Different is very
different is good. Difference is celebrated, bro, because there's a uniqueness.
100%.
There's a uniqueness, you know, a positive difference is lovely. And I will always motivate people to find your uniqueness, 100%. You know, and you move in boldness. And I am who I am now, bro. And shoot, bro, you're not tall. Love yourself, my short king. But at the end of the day, you realize that you can grow. And I learned that, or I finally understood what my mom was telling me. You look at your fingers like this, bro. All fingers are not the same. Your hand can't work well without your thumb.
It's true.
Or your pinky. But these are the smallest fingers. All your other fingers there are still important. So me, or you, or not you, or you know you.
No, you. Sorry, but maybe like
maybe you.
Yeah.
But like you're uniquely different, and that's a blessing on its own. And I'm still learning, but it's a joy just to know that.
100%.
It's a joy just to know that. People lying in the room, we always just try to motivate because at the end of the day, you don't lose anything from it, man. You don't lose anything from trying to help people. You don't lose anything from trying to show someone what you couldn't see before. That's what I believe part of life is about. There needs to be that togetherness. I believe that iron sharpens iron, man. And as people, we come out to improve one another. We can still benefit from one another. And it's a great feeling. Now, bro, we know that emotional maturity, availability, responsibility is huge. It's a huge, broad topic. But I think if we can touch on a few priority things for men, women, everybody, I feel like a lot of people have similar struggles regardless of who you are. We'll be doing some good stuff, man. But I'd like to touch accountability, responsibility, and possibly look into healing and purpose, man. Because a lot of times we just want to know what we're doing wrong, how we can make things better, and at the same time, how we can take a hold of our own lives, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, being emotionally mature is also being able to see what's happening around you, what's happening inside you, and just taking a hold of the change that you want, you know, be it in your life or in the lives of others. But there is also humility, especially when you're wrong, being humble and things like that. So my question here is very simple. What's harder for you? Admitting you're wrong or asking for help?
Oh, asking for help.
Asking for help is the harder one?
I love to hold. In fact, if anything, the reason why is because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I tell people like to happily, proudly admit when they're wrong because I do that in kind. I think admitting you're wrong is like the first step to it pretty much fixing things. And I like most men, I hope we want to fix things as soon as possible, as opposed to like deal with the situation.
Yeah.
So in me applying that to the way I deal with my emotions and the way I deal with situations, is I hold my hand up. I did that wrong. This is where I can, with a point for me to go forward. The problem wherein lies is like I stated earlier, my mentality of what is a mature person inherently, not specifically emotional maturity, but like with self-sufficiency and how that applies to maturity, is I didn't believe that requiring so many outlets or so many areas for help um, is in fact inherently mature. And I feel it almost felt like it was an affront to my character if I felt like I needed to constantly ask for help. And almost to the degree, which is completely horrible, where if someone was taking up the resource of help as much as they were, when they're in full entitlement to do so, if someone's like, miss, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I'm thinking to myself like, oh, they're lesser than, but it's just completely wrong. And I'm glad I've finally come full circle on that mentality, because asking for help is literally it's the best thing you can do for yourself as a human species thriving together. It's only ever to your betterment to go through the steps of admitting when you're wrong and understanding that this is a point of where you may be weaker, but then going into asking for help. And it's then, who do you trust with being your avenue for help, and knowing who you're close enough to do so. So it's a balancing act. It's a thing that you need to look within yourself, and then also assess amongst the resources you have around you. Like if I was to think about the people who I'd immediately go to for help, it would be my girlfriend, my parents, certain academic figureheads, and then it would proliferate from those branches. That's my tree of the support network. But it's understanding who are those people for you, and then addressing it that way, and realizing that you shouldn't be ashamed for asking for help.
Yeah.
I wish if I was to go back in time and tell past Michael, it's okay to ask for help, and I've come back in time specifically to tell you that. I think I'd come, not even that I'd be a different person, I would have been the person I'm supposed to be sooner.
I'd love to go back in time and just talk to past Leo, bro. Like, it's okay, man. Life is different for everybody, and that brother would just cry in my arms, bro.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm getting a bit too sentimental. Don't look at my eyes. Do not look at my eyes. But I agree, man. It's a lot harder to ask for help because normally, or more times than not, you have people who decide to shame you when you ask for help, and some people do that because of their own inadequacies.
100%.
And I don't understand that, man. It's like, but if I learn this, I could help you. And there's nothing wrong in that. But some people do have egos as well. I'm getting to learn more about it, understanding people. Everybody has their troubles, but I just don't want to be the one to justify your poor action because of the hardship in your life. But because you've used that as a reason to mock my hardship. And it's wrong. But at the end of the day, man, to show that we're better, to show that we are true lions, man, we see what's wrong and we choose to do what's right. We see what's wrong and we choose to still show love to the brother that isn't showing love to us, because, I think even as you mentioned, you're going to leave a positive thought in their head. The Bible talks about how a soft voice turns away wrath. And there are still a lot of things that people need to learn. Even if you don't want to study the Bible, you can definitely say that there are verses that teach you on how to love your fellow man, because we're all equal, man. So if we're all equal, then we have equal struggles. If we have equal struggles, then we can equally succeed and get ourselves out of this mess, bro. That's what I believe, bro. 100%. I know you miss my bars, but that's just, yeah, man, I've been away for a while. But that's just how I feel about that, bro. Like, it's definitely harder to ask for help, even as a guy, because of the expectations set upon us. Who do you ask for help? How many dads are willing to help them? How many dads are not suffering that 9-to-5 life or going through their own hardships? it's hard to understand sometimes, but you try to empathize with everyone, you know. But at the end of the day, I'll definitely say that it's okay to ask for help because that's the only way you're gonna learn. You know, you can go through trial and error, but if you find someone who is willing to teach you, willing to go through the steps with you, you will at least gain a bit more, probably even more than you thought you would reading the book by yourself, going through the hypotheses, analyzing, and all that stuff. Albert Einstein wasn't Albert Einstein before until people saw his greatness. And even then, people still didn't see it. Or Usain Bolt, or David Goggins, or anybody. You look at Serena Williams, for example, and a lot of people didn't believe she could do what she was gonna do. Even her sister Venus. And you realize one way or the other, you just have to push, man. At the end of the day, you have to push. You ask for help, ask for someone to teach you, go the extra mile. I'm glad that I have parents that, you know, prioritize that and push that. My mom prioritizes teaching us to ask for help. I remember my dad used to tell me that in school as well, to the point where, you know, if I didn't know something, I was afraid to ask because I was going to be made fun of. Maybe not shamed, like, look at this dodo brain, bro, but like, you don't know this? Like, I've been teaching this class for like a good 5 weeks and you don't know this. I'm not surprised you don't listen. You know, it could be anything. And then all of that's just embarrassing. I open the ground up, I will feel so embarrassed, bro. I just want to hide there. Like, so those kind of things make it even harder. But as I've come to understand, man, if you don't ask, you really won't know. When I was working at a place, customers would come to ask me stuff. You have to ask because you don't work there with me, bro. Like, you don't arrange stuff with me, so of course you won't know. So it's okay to ask. It's how you ask sometimes
100%.
as a person, and you move, man. Imagine someone asks you something nicely and you give them like a nasty attitude. All right, cool.
I think that is a deep seated like insecure human being.
Yes.
If that means there's something underlying with the person that's been asked the question. If they choose to negatively react to someone politely asking for help, there's something unresolved going on there. Because anyone should. We've all worked with people who can be bad at their jobs, and
tell me about it.
Oh, but they're affecting your time, especially they're affecting your, and especially depending on the job. If you've got something that's you're paid like per service as opposed to per hour, they're literally affecting your money as well. And you want to hate them and stuff like that. But I don't think anyone should harbor any hate to the person that's still willing and open to learn. Because you can have a lazy person at work, and if they then show no initiative into want to be better, then you can express that, because there is someone bringing the wrong energy to the workplace. But if there's someone that's just genuinely struggling but is giving still, like wanting to learn, praise that person. It doesn't matter. I think you're providing more to humanity as a whole if you give that person the time of day.
Of course, man, because they want to do better for themselves,
100%.
man. Inadvertently doing better for society.
100%.
I agree with that, man. Let's look at this, bro. How do you hold yourself accountable when no one is watching?
I try and write things down now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Like journaling?
Yeah. So, but the thing is I'm still trying to on the process of ADHD diagnoses and such. So we're gonna we won't address that today. But in regards to holding myself accountable, I'll probably message my girlfriend. I'll be like, hey, I did this thing. I didn't like that about myself. She'll put, and also it's because my girlfriend's my girlfriend because I respect her point of view.
Good.
100%.
Oh.
Yeah. There's like the way that she thinks and the way she acts, and like her opinion of me in a situation, I place stake and ownership into how she believes in me, and that's why like she's my partner. So if I need to hold myself accountable, I do it to someone that would also someone that shares the same sort of views and like values as me. So I say if I'm playing a game, right, and I'm playing this, and then I blurt out a curse word, and it's probably one that I'm like I don't regularly say, or it's something that as well like I feel like that was a bit mean, or even as well like if I'm playing especially like if it's a group related game like a co-op, say like Marvel Rivals or God knows something, and I've been like this person was this person was and then I've been the person that's worked I'd say 9 to 5. It was more like 9 to 8, and it was horrible, like long hours. And then my only like respite is playing some games after work, and I'm not better than the next person next to me, and they've flamed me online, being your ass, your dog water, this, and that. And then I've been that person, so I've got the empathy to realize that like that could be the person I'm playing with, and then should they be getting flamed for not playing as well, it's like it literally is just a game at the end of the day, and what they put into it, whether they, because there's the degrees to like what is like, if they're directly playing against us, they could be intentionally making it worse for us, which is a whole different trolling type of thing. But if they just didn't play as well, they've got a whole different life to you, they've got a whole different capability to you. The world is bigger than just you. So I will definitely, in terms of accountability, if I don't already address it myself, if I don't like put it on my notes page that I did this, I need to work on this, or I'll either message a friend or message my girlfriend and be like, I didn't like this about myself. And just because I've said it to someone else, it means it's out there, it exists, it doesn't reside within me, which means that like there's someone else that like it can have a perception of me that I have changed. I've grown from a situation, and I have the ability that I can address when something about myself I don't like, and I can go about changing it. I think that it also is another thing. The fact that I choose my girlfriend, I think that if she sees that in me, she'd be like, oh, "This guy's attractive," you know. Yeah, I love
the box now. I see. You're out the box now.
Yeah, I hope that in me going, I didn't like about that. I like that about myself, and then not even telling her like I haven't done this and this many times. For her to be addressed that I don't like, 'cause she will be there with me when I play sometimes, and to see that I'm just like, oh mate, we had a tough. This person didn't really pull their weight. It's tough for them, you know. I've been there, and for her to be like, look at the person who's growing. Look at, and I hope that's me in her head, just being like, that's me. And if anything, that me being a better human being and her valuing a better human being, then I mean, we're both growing.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta love that, man. That's sweet. I really respect that, bro, because I need to do a bit better when it comes to holding myself accountable.
Yeah.
When it comes, I am exposing myself. Well, you know,
vulnerability, man.
I'm gonna let you guys know this. Like, sometimes I do something wrong, or I might say something wrong. You know, sometimes I act out of line, and in the moment, I feel justified. In my quiet time, you know, I always believe that wherever I am, God is. You know, God is everywhere. But like in that quiet space, I have the opportunity to think. You know, it's not because God is there, I'm just thinking, but I have the opportunity to open my mind and look back to what I said. Look back to how I acted. I'll use something like this. Now, I was doing something I shouldn't have, and my mom was telling me about love, and love is being able to consider others despite how much you feel okay in doing something, and you really see how selfish you can be when you don't consider others in some of the things that you're doing. Now, it's not saying that, you know, if you're not considerate to whatever, you're selfish, just like that. But she was definitely talking from a perspective that was true, you know, and it made me think. And it's like, I don't want to think more of myself than I need to. If you understand where I'm coming from, I don't want to act without thinking about others. I don't want to do things only just thinking about myself or my wants. Sometimes my needs are indirect. Like, my needs also refer to other people as well. So it was something that I had to think about. Or if I can use something easier, just, you know, cussing someone else, throwing an insult, you know, getting into an argument, or thinking, you know, particular things are meant to go the way I think they should. Like I said, bro, I'm 24 years old, man. Compared to how long this world has been, I don't know that much. I'm willing to learn, but I should be willing to take my time with others as well. I should be willing to be able to come back and say that I'm wrong. And that's one thing that I normally do. You might not hear from me. We might disagree this evening. Maybe I'm a bit too heated. You don't hear from me, but you hear from me tomorrow. And I'll tell you, like, I do apologize for how I spoke to you. It's a bit, some people might think, oh, apologizing now or whatever or this, but sometimes it's not even so that you feel good with me, just so that I can feel good
for
inside.
yourself. Yeah.
Because once you realize that this is not how I wanted to represent myself, then you're like, okay, what can I do to make things better?
Mm.
What can I do to make things better for myself even? You know, but we live and we learn, bro. Got that from a Sonic the Hedgehog song.
Yeah,
Sonic Adventure.
Sonic Adventure.
Yeah,
2008.
oh,
Live
yeah.
and learn,
Yes,
hanging
bro.
off the edge of tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, brother.
Come on.
Sonic
You
was
just open your heart, bro. But yeah, no, man. It's good to hold yourself accountable. Accountability just shows to me you respect people.
Mm.
You respect yourself. You respect your environment, bro. So definitely hold yourself accountable to these things. We're going to be moving into the final section, which is healing, purpose, and hope. Because at the end of the day, like we said, you should be able to ask for help. And emotional maturity is also knowing when to heal, how to heal, and even being able to help others heal. Purpose is something that I love. It's a word that I love so much because you come to understand that you have a mission. I think I just want to call it a mission, solid snake style. Like, you have an objective. And a lot of times that objective still branches out to other people. It's not just getting your life secure, because even after, you still feel like there's nothing else to do. And what do you do then? You go help someone else. You go guide someone else. And then you're feeling all cozy and lovely. And it's like, maybe I need to do a bit more of this. Not so these people can come back and pay me or whatever, but given an avenue to build up. If I could build foundations for people to start anything, I would love to. However it goes, whether they fail, whether they don't, whether they decide to stop along the way, I would love to be able to help people. And just that, or anybody being able to recognize and appreciate that, or move about doing that, has a sense of emotional maturity, if anything, responsibility. Feeling responsible for people that aren't even your family, that's heavy. So I got this question for you, broski. What does emotional strength mean to you today compared to a few years ago?
Emotional strength. That would be
when I think about emotional strength, I think it's being able to not control, but handle them in the right way. Everyone gets angry, but you shouldn't be stomping your feet and busting walls down. There's a way to show you are annoyed without, flaring up.
Being more proactive than reactive.
Yeah, proactive. Yeah, exactly. Don't be quick to react, but be willing to respond.
Exactly. That's that compartmentalization, and I think that it's a beautiful thing.
You trying to be a co-host of Lion in the Room, because I'm loving this chemistry.
Yeah, brother. Man, it's good. But
yeah, I'm joking. Carry on.
No, man, it's all good. Yeah, I like that because it's being able to like kind of look in with yourself and expressing. I mean, I said a bar earlier about the smartest person being the third person in the room, and like gain perspective. So if you can address and understand that the way that you act has an effect on someone else, and like vice versa, and then choose your actions accordingly to doing so, I think that's the thesis of emotional strength. And I think that compared to what it was a while ago, for me, it was specifically to the question. Previously, it would be that to like kind of like show no emotion, as if to let nothing affect me.
Yeah,
so it's probably the same for you.
Yeah,
but it's not to let nothing affect you. So say like hypothetically, you were to tell me like, brother, the way that you walk is not like you walk like a bum. Like just as a thing. And I'm like previously me thinking what emotional strength would be, it would be like to be like yeah, calm, bro. But like emotional like strength now, and understanding that like, because I respect you, I like you, and we're buds, you telling me that like the way I walk looks a certain type of way, it affects me in a certain
regard. Of course, man, because it's like you're now concerned about what I've mentioned.
100%.
The fact that we're so close, like, and I've called you out, but at the same time made fun of you or shamed you, like, without helping you
and as
fix
bros,
up what it is.
Yeah, man. And as bros, we have the ability to be able to like poke fun at each other, without the sense of it being deep, because there's that underlying nuance of what our relationship is. And obviously things shouldn't be treated as deep as dependent on the situation. But in that regard, to say if it had affected me, I already have got a stigma or an insecurity about the way I walk. I'll just address it to you. Just be like,
I do too as well, bro.
Oh,
It's
really?
crazy. Like
I didn't even mean to put it.
no. Maybe not like a little stigma or whatever, but I was always very self-conscious about my steps.
Oh, swear.
Yeah, very self-conscious about my steps. I can't remember. There was a time when I was walking in church. Well, while we went to church, and I was imitating the way my dad walked. So I was trying to get his walking style because to me it was kind of cool. Yeah. Now I got my own. I kind of got my own, and it's just grown. I don't feel as self-conscious about it.
Right.
But I ain't shaming another man for how he walks. I'm gonna ask you why. What's going on with that? What's going on with that stanky leg? But do your thing, bro.
Yeah, man. And then if he pulls up on it, of course, like if you were to do so, like you said in your situation, like hypothetically, if you were to do so, it's because it's from something unresolved within yourself.
Yeah.
And then I would just address it, be like, hey, brother, I'm actually kind of aware about the way I walk.
Yeah.
And then the strength would be like, I understand why you probably would have mentioned that. And I'm emotionally mature enough to realize that people don't just say this stuff out of nowhere. There was something that was in my walk that was non-conformity. So you've pointed it out, and now I feel a certain type of way about it.
Sure.
But you're my bro, and I don't want our relationship, our friendship to end purely because you've made a statement that you probably didn't give as much thought to prior. And then we did address it. And the thing is as well, it's not like and your reactive emotional strength, you wouldn't be like, oh, I can't take a joke.
Yeah.
You can't be. You would be like, there's certain things I can say that we can joke about because we've joked about things in the past and it's never come up.
Yeah.
But this one is a bit thing for him. So when it comes to stuff about his walking, I'll be a bit nicer about it if I want to say anything.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that you're now going to go around and just like never poke fun at me because I want you to.
Oh yeah, of course.
100%.
Being able to find out what's a boundary and what's not. Where the line's drawn.
Yeah.
Because it's like even like with weight, like with guys, bro, you throw jokes about someone being fat or skinny or and people laugh about it. But once you know, or once you've been told that one of your brothers is struggling with that, it's okay to talk about that, so that you can understand each other. And you can still throw jokes because he doesn't want to feel as though, oh, I've called this out. Now you guys don't want to hang with me and all those kind of things. But he just wants to be respected a bit more. 100%. Or even, if anything, helped. He might not even want help. But
that's a small cry for help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely say it's a cry for help, man. But nah, man, shaming people only shows you got problems.
Yeah, man.
Stop it.
Get some help. Yeah, man.
And a final question, bro.
Yes, brother.
I'm loving this, and I hope you guys have loved this as well. Being able to discuss this, no holds barred, but at the same time feeling comfortable without feeling as though you're shaming someone, that's the way, man. That's what I want for you guys. That's what I want for everybody that gets to watch me and my boy Michael here, because life is great.
That's good.
Do I need to tell you more? I do. I do.
Yeah, of course.
I probably should.
Spend time with it.
We'll move into the next question. So final question now, bro. If you could speak to your younger self about emotions and relationships, what would you say?
One of them, it's funny you mentioned relationships. I think as a younger kid going in through my teen years and into the man I am now.
Yeah.
I got into some relationships purely because I didn't want to disappoint the person asking me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Niggas are asking you. I ain't nobody asked me. Where are my roses? Where are my chocolate?
Ah, mate, you're too beautiful to approach. That's your cross to bear. But yeah, no, I was presented with the want to be in a relationship, and obviously it wasn't just like random. It was people that I was close with, and I could see, and my understanding of what a relationship isn't what it is today. So I thought it's more multifaceted than just being with someone that you're friends with. So I only ever got in friendships that I was really in close relationships with, and I should have been able to tell, like if I was to tell my younger self, I'd be like, just because they've offered this option of being in a relationship doesn't mean you have to take it. You can still be friends, with the opposite gender, and it can be totally calm. That is one thing for definite. And sorry, what was the other half of that question?
Well, it's if you could speak to your younger self about emotions and relationships, what would you say?
Emotions, yeah, feel them. Don't bury them. 100% feel them. And then I think as well, a lot of the time as well, I had a terrible stutter growing up. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, my stutter,
I've been
and then
stuttering a little bit now.
it gets you when you're thinking about certain things, and when the thought in your head is moving faster than the word, like the mouth that's moving. So in terms
My
of
brain's too good.
yeah, man, if
brain's
you're
too
stuttering, your brain's too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in that communication, and I would find my own like derive frustration in not being able to communicate how I feel, and instead I would just abandon expressing it. So taking time to do so, which means I would have to find other avenues. If I had ahead of time found different ways to write, I think as well, just writing in a specific book can seem like a bit of a daunting task, because then you like, this is the book that I go to every time I feel sad, which for some people would be comforting, to other people who would avoid that, because that means like you have to acknowledge that you're feeling a type of way and go into said book.
Yeah.
So even if it's just scraps of paper, to be able to express the way that you're feeling right now, and even if you have to write it down to just fully understand it back to yourself, and then use that, then that way I feel like I would have had a closer relationship with my parents growing up, in that I would have been able to communicate how I'm feeling a bit more, and then even have like something physical to derive back and understand like, this is what my son's going through. That we can address it this way, and then they would also have something more to go off of. They worked busy lives, and while I hate to, I won't diminish what my parents have given me, because my mum worked 2 jobs growing up. My dad worked a job which took him around the country. He was a very busybody, but able to it helped them help me. So I definitely, from young years to teen years, to find different avenues in which I can creatively express my emotions, come to understanding with it, not just for myself, but for the people that care for me.
That's good, man.
Yeah, man.
Directly and indirectly.
Exactly.
Not just you, but the circle around.
Extrinsically and intrinsically.
Boom.
Yeah, brother.
That's what it is, man. At the end of the day, you realize that you can't live this life without thinking about other people. Appreciating what they did for you, being able to do for them, at the same time considering their hurts and struggles, man, because life ain't easy, but it can get easier with a friend.
Yeah,
It
man.
can get easier.
Yeah, brother.
That sounds very familiar. Oh, man, I can't remember where it was, but, let me not go off on a tangent. For me, if I had to tell my younger self anything about relationships and emotions, I would definitely say that don't bottle it up. Don't bottle up your emotions. Don't bottle up your emotions. It turns you into someone you're never meant to be, and some people realize by the time it's too late. And I believe you can always work on it.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes it too late is how people respond to you, because your image is now out there. And if everybody feels like you're too far gone, it's gonna take a while for you to change their minds. Like there was this guy, just basically he used to steal a lot. Tattoos on the face, all of that. And I want to believe he had like a powerful encounter, had the opportunity to change his life, and he did. Now he preaches the word of God, but people still see what he did before as who he is now. But he's truly working on it. And it's understandable, some people aren't really willing to see you as this new being. But as long as you're doing it for yourself and for everyone else who is willing to learn from you and positively grow, you will be making an impact. What else would I tell myself? Don't bottle up your emotions and don't rush into things, man. I've always loved relationships because I've always believed that my parents' marriage is good. My parents' marriage is good. There are their ups and downs, but it's really union, partnership, love, like everything it's meant to be. People aren't perfect, but they've shown that they can grow, and I respect the growth. And as I've gotten older now, it makes me want to get married quicker. But I'll tell my younger self to take your time, learn to love, learn to understand people, and avoid objectification. Avoid objectifying. Objectification, is that a word?
No, I think
that's a word.
Yeah.
I need to buy a dictionary. I used to have a thesaurus.
Yeah.
I used to have a thesaurus when I was back at home. Oh man, I didn't read it. Yeah, let's not make it.
Nah, to be fair, like it's a thing you can't go from cover to cover. Like the only I
See what we're going through right now.
I don't need to note my vocabulary to this is strange. When I have after school detentions.
Ooh.
Yeah, the bad. It was.
I always wanted to know what detention was like because in Nigeria there was no such thing.
Oh
Like,
no!
if you're getting punished, bro, you're sweeping the lawn, or you're sweeping the hostel, or they'll send you to the girls' hostel. Kind of wanted that.
It was weaponized boredom, but for me, like when I'd done something that I objectively felt bad about, like and the thing is I know my own weaknesses. So one of them was just kind of being on top of things. So like if it was a thing where I just kept. It would probably the only time I ever got an after school really was because I missed a lunch detention.
Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't apply myself to it, which means that I've now like defaulted and got something else. And what they'd make you do is they'd give you like a page or something, and they'll make you write the dictionary. So this
like A, B, all the glossaries.
Well, no, see, that's the thing. They would go, all right, your letter today is G. All of the words, write down what the word is, and then the definition.
All the words with G.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Most people's mindset was like that. But like I said, there was a time where I'd got an after school detention where I didn't think I deserved it. It was because I was standing up for myself where one of my friends was being bullied, and it resulted in a
smackdown.
Yeah. A big old fight. And I got, because I was in the midst, so obviously everyone gets detention. And I didn't feel that I deserved it, so I just sat that whole half hour after school and I didn't do anything. But the times where I did and I deserved the detention, I'm not going to lie to you, I've rewritten the dictionary. The Oxford one, not the obviously the big one, but the one that you get in schools, like
and you rewrote the whole thing.
Because where they do like, all right, this is your letter, and they don't expect you to do that. I do probably more than one letter. I think it was like an hour or something after school.
So you enjoyed it?
Not that I enjoyed it, but it was more just that like this felt like a manageable. What would you call it? Like a recompense or some sort of the degree of punishment was worth the degree of like the thing I'd committed.
Okay.
So I just kind of saw myself, and almost as well to prove not only to myself, but when I'd get back, because they were allowed to take the paper with you. I took it back home and I was like, hey, and obviously she didn't want to hear it because she's taking time off our busy schedule to pick me up from work anyways. But I wanted to express that, no, I didn't mean to get in the situation I was in. And I hope you can respect that I feel remorse for the situation I put myself in. This is the work I've done. Like, this didn't come from nothing.
Yeah.
But in my heart, I knew I had done wrong, and I wanted to show that I would take steps in order to try and make it right. And the only thing that was presented to me was to rewrite from the dictionary. So in all from my whole secondary school year, in the times that I had detention where we had to do that, I had eventually gone from A to Z. Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I ain't got no words.
Well, I got a few from the dictionary.
Yeah. This is where we're gonna call it, because today this has been lovely. I really do appreciate you, bro. Like, because your insights, what you stand for, how you've grown, is something that a lot of people struggle with, man. But knowing that we've discussed this today, I want to believe that there's someone out there who can listen to what we've said, listen to what we've spoken about, and seeing that not everything is set in stone. Truly, it's not black and white. And you just have to try. But it's okay to ask for help. And if anyone's shaming you, that means they got problems too. So maybe you should hold their hand and say, hey, we're going to look for someone that's going to help the two of us. We're going to help the two of us, and then we're going to be friends.
100%.
And that's just how it is, man. I think that's just how it is.
That's beautiful.
Don't let anybody take your shine. My mom's saying that one a lot, bro. Don't let nobody take your shine.
That's beautiful.
You know, honestly, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Don't let anybody, because, you know, I do understand that people have issues and people have problems. Sometimes it's easy to just walk away from them. Sometimes it's really hard to smile and say, hey, I'm going to take you where I'm going to. But try it, and you might actually help someone. And if you help someone, you might even help yourself, because I truly believe that that's some medicine you can't pay for.
Nah,
cheap. $3.99. Shout out Nina Lynn.
That tandem growth. I love it, brother.
$3.99. Well, people, this has been Lion in the Room, a motivational podcast where there isn't just a lion right here. It's over there too. Continue to believe in yourself. Continue to trust yourself. I will always tell you to believe in God, in Jesus Christ, because Jesus loves you. I love you as well, man. But that's where I'll put it. If you ever want knowledge, seek it out. seek out the knowledge, man. You have the power. But yeah, people, this is everything. I am your host, Leo Edoche Jr. Don't worry about the junior too. This is my boy, Michael Bell. Known him for a while, and I'm so glad to know him because, bro, you've grown.
Yeah.
You have aged like fine wine.
Hey, brother.
No, it really, anybody that's able to see their life and, actually read on it and, make some changes, I respect that person because I know I want changes in my life too. And anybody who knows that they're a work in progress, come on, bro. That's a finished project in my book.
Yeah, brother.
I think now.
I wouldn't even stress on the finish. I think everyone the wanting to learn and always knowing that you can know more or willing to know more.
Yeah,
that is emotional maturity.
Open your brains. Take care, people. Take care. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, this is a wrap. Peace. Yeah, and that's the end of our episode. Thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed our episode on emotional availability with Michael Bell. And I'm glad to have a friend like him, man, because he was really able to articulate himself and talk about his experiences and show how he's learnt from those things. And that's something that I can always pick up as a human being. You should be willing to learn from people. You should be willing to take examples. You learn from mistakes and you also learn from another person's success and, they're good times. It's always nice to share your own story as well. I've also come to understand that with my life, I have my shortcomings. I have the hard times that I experience, but it's great because you're always going to be able to help someone. I think that's the main thing. That's why we're speaking. We're out here trying to help people so that they can help people. So if we all live good lives, strong lives, and when we reach our shortcomings, we overcome them and move on, we can continue to achieve more in our lives. And being emotionally available as a person is always good, but be willing to learn more, be willing to grow, and try to look out for yourself as well, because you can only take care of others if you take care of yourself. I think that's good. That's enough for you guys. So yeah, we have another episode coming out. It is going to be with two friends of mine, two Nigerians. So I do hope that you guys are going to be there for that. And yeah, thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. Take care. God bless you and peace.